Hello, it's Rory at Culloden Painting Studio here, doing my first ever response video. This is to Chilling Wargamers, I am a Wargamer, and thanks to Martin at Seventh Son for tagging me in this challenge. First question to answer is, how did I get into the hobby? Well, in the early 90s, a friend of mine at primary school came on our school residential with some Citadel combat cards. I made great fun playing them, and soon after getting home from that, convinced my parents to take a trip to Edinburgh. Went to Games Workshop on the Royal Mile there, not really realising that there would be shelves full of blister packs and box sets. Would have bought the whole shop if I'd had the chance, but I had to make do with a pack of combat cards. I got Orcs and Goblins, my brother got Citadel Space Marines, and we took them home, and inside there was a little leaflet which was sort of an advert for various Games Workshop games, and if you filled in your name and address and sent off a postal order for about £4, remember postal orders? Can you even still get them? You could get some models. So I sent that off and I got 2 goblins, 2 high elves, a Gretchen, a space marine, 4 pots of paint and a brush, and that was it. I was off painting. Really liked it. Back to Games Workshop some point in the future. Initially I think I got a box of plastic Elder Guardians, the monopose ones with the las guns I think, and that was my first army, really, was the Eldar. At some point picked up the 2nd edition box set, and there I went, and that was, you know, where are we, 2020, so at least 25 years ago. There was maybe a slight pause in my hobbying when I started high school, but that didn't last long, and I've pretty much been painting toy soldiers continuously since then. YouTube channel came about because I was recovering from a bit of surgery earlier in the year, and around about the same time COVID-19 reared its ugly head, and that meant that I had a lot more free time at home, and you know, I'd been getting into YouTube slowly, watched a few tutorials, but I'd found that there wasn't that much content for historicals. And as I paint models on commission, I thought, you know, people are probably going to be interested in seeing how I paint things. So I just started the channel, and I've made a little go of it. It was going fairly well. We're only 4 months-ish in, over 400 subscribers, so yeah, that's fantastic. And that leads on to advice for people that want to get into this sort of malarkey. It's fairly straightforward. I'm doing this on a mobile phone. I think my main advice is probably start simple. The first video that I planned to do, I tried to record myself painting a model, and it was just a bit of a nightmare, and it never made it off the hard drive. So changed my tack. First video I think was a set of Victrix Austrians, and I'd painted them all in stages to show them what they look like with their base coat. First layer of base coat, dry brushing, then adding colours, and slowly building through to the finished model. And it was pretty straightforward to put together. There's lots of shots of my hands coming into this screen and moving models around, so not particularly polished, but it was a good place to start, and it helped me build confidence, which I think is the next major thing, is that take it slow, get yourself confident with what you're doing. There's plenty of advice and helpful YouTubers out there, and I think that it doesn't take much to get the help that you need if you're willing to ask. Where do I see the channel in 5 years? Well, I mean, hopefully it will still be updated semi-regularly. I'd like to think I'll still be producing tutorials for people, and I really hope that people are still watching. But it would be nice if I can grow the subscriber base, because, you know, it's always nice to know that your things are getting watched and appreciated. The three YouTubers I'd like to tag to continue with answering this question, set of questions, are BJ Kernow Modelling. Been watching recently with some 3D printed Second World War tanks for the Western Desert. Basic miniature painting, who has been working on some French voltigeurs and is moving on to grenadiers, Napoleonic era that is. And finally the Habsburger Donkey, who has worked on a lot of goblins and barbarians for Oathmark. And I'd like to see what they make of this challenge, and look forward to seeing everybody else's videos. And if you're watching for the first time and thinking about starting a YouTube channel, just go for it. You know, it's a niche hobby, but the people that are in this niche hobby are very approachable. We all like to help each other out, and we just want to see the hobby grow. So just start working and you'll find your audience. Cheers!